I'm thrilled to, I'm thrilled to be telling the story behind the story of Who Moved My Cheese because it means the audio because it means the audio program is complete and is available for all of us listen to, enjoy, and share with others. This is something I've wanted to see happen ever since. There's something I wanted to. This is something I wanted to see happen ever since I first heard Spencer Jones tell his great cheese story years ago before we wrote on the book The Woman Manager together. I remember thinking then how good the story was and how helpful it would be to me from that moment on. Who Moved My Cheese is the story about changing that takes place in a marriage where four amusing characters look for cheese. Cheese being a for what we metaphor for what we have for what we want have in life, whether it's a job, a relationship, money, a big house, freedom, health, recognition, spiritual peace, or even activity like jogging or golf. Each of us has our own each of us has our own idea of what cheese is. When you pursue it because you believe it makes us pursue it. Pursue it because we believe it makes it happy. If you get it, we often becoming attached to it. And if you lose it or it's taken away, it can be traumatic. The maze in the story represents where you spend time looking for what you want. It can be organization you working, the community you live in. You working. It can be the organization you work in, the community you live in, or a relationship you have in your life. I tell you the story. I tell the children, the community you live in, or the relationship you have in your life. I'll tell the cheese story that you're about to listen to in my talks around the world, and often learn later from people about what a difference it has made to them. Believe it or not, this little story has been credited with saving careers, marriages, and lives. One of many real-life examples comes from Charlie John, a well-respected broadcaster for NBC TV, who revealed that hearing the story Who Moved My Cheese saving his career. His job as a broadcaster is unique, but the principle he's learned can be useful by anyone. Here's what happened. Charlie works hard and does a great job of broadcasting track and field events at an early Olympic Games. So he was surprised and upset when his boss told them he'd been removed from showcase event for next Olympic and resigned to swimming and diving. Not knowing these sports as well, he was frustrated. He felt unappreciated and became angry. He said he felt it wasn't fair. He was angry began to affect everything he did. Then he heard the story of Who Moved My Cheese. After that he said he laughed at himself and he changed his attitude. He realized he must move. He realized He realized his boss he, he, he realized his boss has just moved his cheese. So he adapted. He learned to new sport and his process found that doing something new made him feel young. It wasn't long before he both recognized his new attitude and energy, and he soon got better refinement. He went on to enjoy more success than ever. He was later inducted into the Pro Football Hall of Fame, Broadcaster Alley. That's just one of many real-life stories I've heard about what the impact this story had on people, from their work life to their love life. I'm such a strong believer in the power of who moved my cheese that I recently gave that that I gave. I'm such a strong believer part of I'm such a strong believer in love life. I'm such a believer in the power of whom I choose that I gave a copy on the early pre-publication edition to everyone. More than 200 people working with our company. Why? Because like every company that because like every company that wants not only to survive in the future but stay competitive, we can balance the company with constant on the cons- stay competitive. The company constantly change. They keep moving our cheese. While in the Paris made one of the loyal employees, today we need flexible people who are not possessive of but the way things are done around here. And yet, as you know, living in constant white water, which changes the career all the time at work or life, can be stressful unless people unless people are the way looking for a change that helps them understand it. Answer the tea story. When I told people the story and then gave them a copy, you could almost feel a least lengthening of energy beginning to curl. Person after person from every department went out of their way to thank me. They told me how helpful whom my chief had been to them already in seeing the change going on in the company in the different light. Believe me, this brutal powerful takes little very parable takes a little time to listen to. Takes on a little time to listen to, but its impact can be profound. As you listen, you'll hear three sections in this program. In the first in gathering, former classmates talk at a class reunion about trying to deal with the change happening in their lives. The second section is the story of who might cheat, the core of this program. In the third section of discussion, people discuss what the story meant to them and how they are going to use it their work in and their life. Some listeners to this program prefer some listeners of these programs prefer to stop to the end of the story without listening further and interpret. And some listeners to this program prefer to stop in the story without listening further, and interpret is meaning for them themselves. Others enjoy the listening to discussion that follow because it stimulates their thinking about how they might apply what they learn to their own situation. In any case, I hope each time you listen to Whom I Choose, you'll find something new and useful in it, as I do. and then we help you deal with the change and bring you success. Whatever you decide, success is for you. I hope you enjoy what you discover, and I wish you well. Remember, move with the cheese. A gathering, Chicago. One sunny Sunday in the Chicago, several former classmates for good friends school. Classmates who Several former classmates who were good friends at school gathered for lunch having attended their high school reunion at night before. They wanted to hear more about what's happening in each other's lives. After a good deal of kidding and a good meal, they settled into the interesting conversation. They settled into after a good deal of kidding and good meal, and they settled into the interesting conversation. Angela, who had been one of the most population people in the class, said, "Life sure turned out differently than I started with school. A lot has changed." It certainly had, Nathan echoed. They knew he'd gone into his family business, which had operated pretty much the same and been part of a local community for as long as they could remember. So they were surprised when he seemed concerned. He asked, "But have you noticed how we don't want to change? One thing's change. One thing's how we want to change. One thing change." Carol said, I guess we resist changing because we are afraid of change." "Carlos, you're captain of the football team," Jessica said. "I never thought I'd hear you saying anything about being afraid." They all laughed as they realized they could older they all laughed they realized they although the had gone they although realized that although they realized although they had gone off in different directions, from working at home to managing company, they were experiencing similar feeling. Everyone has trying to cope with unexpected changes. Everyone was trying to cope with unexpected changes that were happening to them recent year, and most admitted we did not know a good way to handle them. Then Michael said, "I used to be afraid of change. When a big change came along in our business, we didn't know what to do. So we didn't do just, and you almost lost it. That is," he continued, "until I heard a funny little story changed everything." "How so?" Nathan asked. "Well, the story changed the way I looked at change. The story changed the way I looked at change. For losing something, and to gaining something, and it showed me how to do it. After that, things quickly improved at work area in my life. At first, I was knowing obvious someplace a real story because it sounded like something you might open told to school. Then I realized I really annoyed myself for not seeing obvious at doing what works, and things changed. When I realized the four character story represent parts of myself, I decided who I wanted to act like, and it changed. Later, I passed story under some people are company, and they passed on other, and soon a business did much better because most adapt trends better. Unlike me, many people say have helped them in personal life. However, there are few people who said that got nothing out of it. They either knew the lesson or were already living them, or more commonly, they thought already knew everything and didn't want to learn. They couldn't see why so many others benefiting from it. When a senior executive who was having difficulty adapting such a story waste of time, other people killed himself. They knew each character who was the story, meaning the one who wants nothing new and did not change. What's the story? Angela asked. It's called Who Moved My Cheese? The fruit last. I think I like it already, Corolla said. Would you tell a story? Would you tell a story? Would tell a story? Maybe we story? Maybe we can get something from it. Sure, Michael replied. I'd be happy to. It doesn't take long. And so he began.